my friends. I am Peymon Mutahede, the president of Freedom Law School, which I created in 1996. In this very short presentation, I'll give you an overview to the answer to the question, do you need to file income taxes or not? I'll give the answers to you right now based upon IRS's website, United States Treasury's website, U.S. House of Representatives, and that of the U.S. Supreme Court. So with that, let's go with the IRS's website, irs.gov first. Here's a 1040 U.S. individual income tax return form for 2022. The key term is U.S. Who is a U.S. individual? Depends on what U.S. are you referring to. Let's go find out. Here's a form, instructions for the 1040 income tax return, right? On this form, and under filing requirements on page 8, that tells us that these rules apply to all U.S. citizens. And I agree, regardless of where they live and resident aliens. Okay, well, let's go see what this U.S. is they keep mentioning here. So here we are, folks. We're going to go to the official website of U.S. House of Representatives, okay, uscode.house.gov, where the law is officially published for the world to see. When you go there, and we're going to see that there's a section 1 of the code. Everybody knows it's about imposing a tax from Title 26, the Internal Revenue Code. Well, what does it say? The regulations of this 1.1-1 make it very clear about income tax on individuals that Section 1 of the code imposes an income tax on income of every individual who is a citizen or resident of the United States. We're going to focus on that. The second part about non-resident aliens we'll cover in a more detailed video that's linked below. So, who is this United States citizen or resident? Well, let's go to see what it says in the law. Well, the law, folks, I'm going to show you right here, is from Title 26, Internal Revenue Code, which is here it is, folks. This is the Internal Revenue Code, the federal tax laws passed by U.S. Congress. All the gobbledygook, tiny font, tissue thin. Yes, this is the book, that the Bible of the IRS that they got to go by. I'm going to quote it from you here online. It has special definitions in section 7,701. And what does it say? It says, when used in this title. What title? They're talking about Title 26, the Internal Revenue Code, the 26th category of federal laws. Okay? So they define so many obvious things like person, but guess what? There's a special definition for the term United States and state. United States, when used in a geographical sense, includes only the states and the District of Columbia. And states shall be construed to include the District of Columbia also. So you have United States basically means clearly DC plus DC, which all still adds up to only DC. So United States means only the District of Columbia. Now you think, Peymon, come on, 50 states are included? Obviously, wrong. Let's go to U.S. Supreme Court to get answer on these issues. In this case, the Hoover versus Allison Company and versus Evat, they tell us that in 1945, the term United States could have several different meanings. Yes, the term United States could be either the whole 50 states collectively, or D.C., yes, the seat of the federal government, as you see here. The definition of the United States here, folks, I'll show you, it's only what's there, not the 50 states. The Supreme Court tells us in Stafford versus Carhart that in year 2000, when a statute or law includes an explicit definition, like the one you just saw, we must follow that definition, even if it varies from that term's ordinary meaning. Yep, and it is axiomatic or self-evident obvious that the statutory definition of the term excludes unstated meanings of that term. If that term, like 50 states, is not listed in a definition of United States, it's not there, folks. And in tax cases, folks, this is even more of a strict rule. In Gould versus Gould, in 1917, the U.S. Supreme Court tells us that in the interpretation or understanding of statutes, laws, levying or imposing taxes, it is the established rule not to extend their provisions of tax laws by implying beyond the clear import of the language used, or to enlarge the operation of the tax laws so as to embrace or include matters not specifically pointed out. See, the 50 states are not specifically pointed out here. They're not here. You don't see any of the 50 states here, therefore it's not there in the definition of United States or states. And if you have any doubt, in case of any doubt, the tax laws are construed most strongly against the government and in favor of the citizen not being taxed. And folks, that's it. And let me show you folks an example of a law that they do impose a tax on the 50 states. Again, this is from Title 26, Internal Revenue Code, Section 4612, okay, Subchapter A, Tax on Petroleum. In this section, definitions, it says for the purposes of this subchapter, the Subchapter A, Tax on Petroleum, that all these definitions apply, like the one on the term United States means the 50 states. There it is, the 50 states, folks, explicitly listed. And the District of Columbia and a bunch of U.S. territories, continental shelf areas, and foreign trade zones. They did not forget about 50 states earlier. They deliberately listed it here and left it out there. So the United States here, you see, the citizen or resident of the United States is citizen or resident of D.C. that must pay a tax. That's the individual. So this U.S. individual is a Washington, D.C. individual who must file this income tax return, not the rest of us in the 50 states. Folks, the truth is there. Do not put rope around yourself neck. Do not hang yourself, folks. You don't want to do that, okay? You need to be free. You got to stop filing 1040 tax forms unless you're one of those people required to file income tax, and 98% of you are not citizens or residents of D.C. So free yourself now. Go to our website, freedomlawschool.org, for more, so you can regain your power and freedom once again. And for detailed, complete understanding of this issue, go watch the more longer video in the description below. It covers more things to understand this issue further. I cannot free you. You can free yourself. Congratulations. You got to start. Watch more, educate yourself more, and you can regain your power and be free of the income tax once again. And we can restore freedom together in America as Americans together.